Ollie, disappointing. It's that start again that keeps on happening. How do you try and remedy that?
That's a magic wand. It's about starting on the front foot. We tried to do that today. We played against a good team that made it hard for us. They pressed us and we couldn't find a way out of the press. And unfortunately, when you concede a goal very early on, that makes it very difficult.
Therefore, the spirit after 6 seasons together, see the team still running without the ball, players with a quality like Bernardo, like Gabriel, like Kevin. Today is back and do without the ball that done. This is our secret, and that's why we won today.
We were expecting them more offensive, maybe even more pressing, high pressing. So we had to be ready to play out of our back, dominated possession, and didn't give them much, to create chances.
That result and performance against Liverpool dented us big time. Of course it did. So. And last week looked like we might get through this. Today was a massive test, but we weren't at the standard that we know we can be and what we need to be against the top teams in Europe.
I think most people expected more of a response from United after the half-time.
They tried, but they could not do it.
Absolutely.
Why? We had the ball. We need a game like the ball in the fridge. Keep it there. And a lot of passes, and today we did it brilliantly.
Well, it was in the fridge for a long time, and they certainly remained ice cold. But as derbies go, Danny, that was as one-sided and as comfortable as you can imagine it being.
Well, it was a masterclass. They were tenacious without the ball, excuse me, technically brilliant with it, and a brilliant and tactical plan from Pep, as always. Reminded me of the Chelsea performance in many ways. Everybody at it, no passengers, which is exactly what you got. This is how you play against the back three. He always does this, Pep. High and wide, his two wide players, gives the wing-backs a problem. They drop in and make a 5, which means the full-backs can then dominate the game. Foden running in off that wide area, causing Wan-Bissaka a problem, means Cancelo, look, he's looking to his right, who's picking him up? Fernandes playing narrow in a 3 in midfield, can't get out there. Bailly's not talking to him enough, and he nearly gets in here. That's an early warning sign. Can happen early in the game. Constantly getting 2v1s. This is a perfect example. Wan-Bissaka, look, pointing, asking somebody to take Foden, really should be dropping off. But that's because Cancelo's free as well. And he was all over the place. But he didn't get much help from his teammates. And again down this left-hand side. I mean, the game, 2-0 at half-time, it could have been 4 or 5. Look how easy it is to switch your play. High up Cancelo, possession, free in the United half, giving Foden 1v1s versus Wan-Bissaka. They played it well against Tottenham, but it was a one-off game against a poor side. Against good quality opposition, they got pulled all over the place. Bernardo Silva, Gundogan and De Bruyne, all taking it in turns to play as a false 9, meant the back three were at 6s and 7s, didn't know what to do. And Cancelo with his second assist to the half. Wan-Bissaka's come out too late because he's preoccupied with where Foden is. And you're giving one of the best fullbacks in the Premier League 30 yards of space to put in balls into the box. It was a masterclass in terms of tactics from Pep. But look at the touches for the fullbacks. I mean, the one thing for me was 20 minutes in, we could all see it, and he didn't change it till half-time when the game was done.
No. Interesting. I mean, you thought there was a huge contrast, didn't you, between the two sides' intensities. Pep himself said, our secret is how much we run off the ball.
It's not a secret.
It's not a secret, though, is it?
It's not a secret.
It's a prerequisite, really. But
before I start, City are a very, very good team. But all the best teams work harder than anyone else, Gary. That's a given. And one of the reasons is why they're so good is because they do that. Then the flair players can go and do all of their stuff. If City players don't work hard, they get left out. If Chelsea players don't work hard, they get left out. If Liverpool players don't work hard, they get left out. Watch the difference between Man City's work rate today and Man United's work rate. This is how it should be done. When you lose the ball, everyone is after it. They go in it. They go as a team. They don't go in 1s and 2s. And they work their socks off to get that ball back. It's why they're a very, very good team. They're all on the same page. Just look at the intensity to get the ball back, to work harder than any team. Then when they get the ball, the players can go and strut their stuff. They do it as a team. They all go together, and they're very, very good at it. And no one can cheat the system in terms of the working hard. Pep said it's not. it's something that the good teams and the good players have to do, and that's why City are successful, and that's why they'll have a chance of being successful this season. I mean, it was an incredible performance from them, both with and without the ball. This is the last minute, by the way. They're 2-0 up. Watch their star players, their big players, trying to get the ball back. The game's won. It's in the last minute, so that's what their manager demands. And if they don't do it, they're out. Someone else comes in. Now, this is Man United. Watch I wouldn't even call it the closing down. Bruno Fernandes. That should be a sprint. Jog, jog, jog. No. Sprint, close down. That ball should not be allowed to come into the 18-yard box. Exactly the same thing again. Stop that cross at all costs. Then that's not in the back of the net. Now there's the sprint. You have to do it. Kevin De Bruyne gets the ball in here. Work hard. Close him down, Luke Shaw. Fred, no, nothing. Take a touch in the box. Defending a corner, Greenwood and Fernandes. Again, 2v1. They have to break the neck to get out there. The cross comes in again. OK, it's a poor cross. It should be stopped. Exactly the same thing again. This time it's Wan-Bissaka. Get out. Sprint. You can't afford to jog. That ball has to be stopped. Now, all right, it's terrible defending from Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw, but stop it at source. And that's why Man United will not be a successful team this season. Look at the difference in the sprints.
There's the evidence. That's
evidence. That's the evidence. Top four sprints from Man City players.
This question then. If Pep Guardiola was the manager of Manchester United, would their intensity be higher?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So therefore, because players don't go out on a football pitch ever, do they, not to try? We all know that. Not at this level. That doesn't happen. But where does that effort come from? Does it have to be the manager? In which case...
Of course it...
In which case, do Manchester United have to look at the Ollie situation?
Well, look, I'm sure they will do, but the evidence is there from the players. If the players wanted him to continue in his job, they'd give more effort. It's both, Gary. You should never, ever, ever be told that you have to go out and work hard. But the system and the pressing and everything else comes from the manager.
If they want to compete with the big teams now, Liverpool, Chelsea and City, they need to change the manager.